now on to this story from Chicago. Moments ago, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot stood by her decision to take only one-on-one interviews with journalists who are people of color, drawing attention to what she calls the overwhelming whiteness and maleness of the city's media. Listen to these brand new comments. Just in, watch this.
It's way past time for the City Hall press corps and the people that do the hiring and make the decisions to get the memo. We are in a time where we're having a powerful and important conversation around systemic racism in every institution. And the press and the media can't be exempt from that conversation.
Okay, National Review online contributing editor DeRoy Murdoch joins us now, along with Democratic commentator Leslie Marshall. Both are Fox News contributors. Leslie, let me start with you. Is it okay for her to decide that she only wants to speak to journalists of one color?
No, I don't think it is. And the reason for that is, one, I get why she's doing it. It is true that the city press corps in Chicago is mostly white and mostly male, and this is the second anniversary of her inauguration. But there are a couple of things here, Martha. One, diversity includes white people, not just people of color. That's what diverse means. That rainbow has many colors, white included. And the First Amendment, freedom of press, is very clear. The freedom of press is all press, regardless of their skin color, religion, sexual orientation. I just don't think this is the right way for her to go about the message that she is trying to send.
No, when we talk about identity politics, DeRoy, this is identity journalism, I guess. You're only allowed in the room if you have a certain color skin.
Yeah, I guess that's a new phrase now, identity journalism. Yeah. I agree with everything Leslie said. This is absolutely appalling. You've got to go all the way back to the 1960s, to the Jim Crow South, I think, to find an example so blatant of outright racism by a public official. I mean, she could have said, look, you know, it'd be really good if the news agencies hired more black journalists, or, you know, start some sort of scholarship program for young journalists or something of the sort. But to say, I won't talk to any journalists who are white is just pure, straight out racial prejudice and bigotry, and it's got to be a violation, I'm sure, of the Chicago, the Illinois, and certainly the federal civil rights statutes, which specifically say government cannot discriminate against people on the basis of their skin color, and that is exactly what's going on here right now.
I mean, Leslie, you're both talking about the sort of reason for diversity, which has almost become, sort of has fallen to the back of this conversation, to not recognize people's skin color, to not, choose them based on what box that you're able to check by choosing them, but to allow everyone to come to the table. But now we're at a point where, you read about graduations that have, you can opt in to only have people of your skin color in your diploma receiving area, housing that is segregated by color, by choice. It sounds like we're going backwards here.
I don't think we're going backwards, because, I mean, certainly there was a time where people of color could not be journalists, could not, and are discriminated against still.
But why would anyone want to be chosen to do an interview because of the color of their skin, rather than the content of their character or the ability that they have as a reporter? That's why you want that person in the room, not the color of their skin.
And I think the reaction from the Chicago press corps, people of color, Latinos, African Americans, are pushing back, but they understand what she is trying and the point she's trying to get across, but they don't necessarily want to be a part of that. What she's doing is not progressive. It is discriminatory, in my opinion, the wrong way to get that message out there.
DeRoy, last thought, why are we becoming more segregated?
You've got people like Lori Lightfoot are just focused on race, race, race all the time. I mean, this is a bit like somebody complaining about the white house paint on a house while it's burning to the ground. We've got shooting incidents up 33%, murders up 22% in Chicago. I think sexual assaults up 12%, if I'm not mistaken. She ought to declare a war on crime rather than a war on white journalists.
Great point. Thank you both. Good to see you today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.